Matt Lenihan for Boxing Social in association with William Hill and Empire Fight Store. Always a pleasure to be joined by Sam Jones, even though he had a bit of a go at me for not being ready as soon as I walked through the door.
It's ridiculous, outrageous, unprofessional to be honest, but we'll let you off.
Thank you very much, mate. Look, we're here for a media workout today. We've got Jack Catterall, his big fight against Jorge Linares. You must be delighted. He's sort of now getting a bit more consistency. He's getting out there. Looking forward to it. It's going to be a good test for him.
Yeah, listen, absolutely. I mean, like what I've said before over and over, Jack's career has been plagued with inactivity. So now he's boxed in May, he's boxing in October, and then, listen, all being well, we box again in February. So it's just gathering momentum. And no matter what anyone says about Linares, he's a three-weight world champion. He's a legend of the sport. He's trained incredibly hard for his fight. He's incredibly motivated. And I've heard reliable sources out there are keeping a close eye on him. He's Polak's sparring partners, so he's bang up for the fight.
You get on well with Linares. Saw you post, so you know him well enough. No matter what anyone says about his last couple, he has been in there with elite level operators, and obviously going in with another one now in Jack. What can we expect from Jack in this fight? What can we expect to see?
Well, listen, I don't like usually say, Jack has to be, but Jack has to make a bit of a statement in this fight, I believe, and I genuinely believe he will. I really do believe he will. I think Linares is going to he's going to be very dangerous, but I think Jack's going to be a bit too big for him, a bit too fresh for him, and I think he's going to get the job done in some style as well.
Is this going to set up a world title fight for Jack? Because that's ultimately what he needs, what he wants. Everyone were talking about the Josh Taylor rematch for so long, but now ultimately he wants the belts that he never got, or a belt or something. So are you banging on Eddie going, look, once he's got Linares out the way, we need something now?
Yeah, I am. And listen, every single time I get asked about Jack, any questions about Jack, it's when's he going to fight Josh Taylor? I get it all the time. So God knows how many times Jack must get it. So listen, that fight's always going to be there. Let's see if something can be made. But Jack's fully focused on fighting Linares first. And then, look, his ultimate goal is to become a world champion. So definitely get through Linares, and then there's massive fights on the horizon.
There's talks of obviously a Regis Prograis and Devin Haney. I know there's not been a date confirmed, but I think we were looking at December, I heard through the grapevine. Ideal scenario, them two get it on, Jack fights the winner.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, let's look and see what happens. I think I would love to see Regis Prograis win that fight, to be perfectly honest. I think Regis is one of those guys that will fight anybody. So the more Prograis in the world, the better in boxing. So good luck to Regis in that fight.
Absolutely. Look, you've got another young fighter in the gym, one of your latest signings, Cameron Vuong.
Yeah.
Talk to me a little bit about him for the fans who haven't seen him fight. What can they expect from this young man? Because he's got a lot of talent.
It's hard for me to kind of say, because I don't want to put too much pressure on him, but I think he's going to be one of the kids that enjoys that pressure. He's one of the best talents I've ever seen.
That's saying a lot considering who you've been around, you've been knocking around.
One of the best natural talents I've ever seen. And as I say, he's been sparring Jack here. He's now going to be trained by Jamie Moore here as well, but I'm so excited about him. I can't... I know people are going to say, what's he talking about? But Shakur Stevenson, that's all I'm going to say.
What, that level?
I'm telling you this now.
Talk about pressure.
The comparisons you will see, you'll watch him and think, Shakur Stevenson.
Well, that's some billing to live up to. Even a percentage of Shakur's talent. I mean, he's at high level.
You mark my words, he's a superstar.
Well, we're looking forward to seeing. Right, I want to talk to you a little bit about Liam Smith, Chris Eubank Jr.
Yeah.
We've been at the press conference today.
Yeah.
They both sort of had a bit of verbals in the head-to-head, but I just want to get your opinion.
I've not seen it. I didn't see what really went on there. What happened?
There was no dramas like the last press conference. I think they were both probably warned, let's not have the same scenario.
Yeah.
But coming into this fight, Eubank joined up with Bomac. I know it's only been 4 weeks.
Yeah.
They're coming into this confident. What do you think about this?
To be honest with you, mate, I think it might be a better fight this time, but I just think Liam Smith is so technically sound all-rounder. Like, he's not a massive puncher, but he's not a soft puncher. He's got a good he's good body puncher.
Does everything quite well.
Does everything very well. Does everything very well. He's a fantastic all-rounder. One of the most underrated fighters in British boxing, in my opinion. And I would make Liam Smith the favourite, but let's see what happens, mate. Let's see what happens. I think you'll see a better performance from Eubank in this, and I don't think that's necessarily to do with the Bomac changes. I just think Eubank will approach this fight differently.
what does a loss do for either man? Obviously, like when you look at Chris Eubank Jr., I always feel like the Conor Benn fight will maybe still be there for him, depending on maybe a manner of a defeat. For Liam Smith, he wants that Anfield dream. What does defeat do for either man?
I don't know. Like with Liam Smith, it's like they'll probably try and do a trilogy with him. Do you understand what I mean? But I think if Eubank wins or loses maybe on points, the Conor Benn fight's always going to be there, and it's massive. Do you know what I mean? Even if Eubank loses his fight, it depends the manner of defeat. If he gets wiped out in 3 rounds, it's a hard sell. But if he loses on points in a close fight, it's still a huge fight with Conor Benn.
It's going to be interesting to see. Look at last week. I know we've already caught up here, I believe, Charlie Arjuan, about Dubois and Usyk.
Yeah.
Let's just touch on a little bit. I think Frank's going ahead with the appeal. Why am I getting so many people saying it was a low blow and it wasn't? How is there a grey area in this?
There isn't, because it's down to the referee's discretion, and obviously Don Charles went through the rules and the referee didn't specify. So I don't know. All I looked at is he got punched in the belly, and it was a clean shot. But one thing I thought when it happened, I thought, oh, Dubois should be world champion. I do think if the referee got in his face and he started counting, Usyk would have got to his feet. But it is what it is. There's no point appealing. Dubois should go back to competing at domestic level, build himself back up again, get some confidence because he struggles with it massively, and then build up to a big fight again. I don't think the rematch is any good for Dubois anyway.
Do you think, knowing how we know boxing, if there is an appeal that goes in, which Frank Warren says...
It's to no avail, mate, to no avail. Because the WBA want the undisputed fight, and if getting Dubois in the way, the money's not... I just don't see it going anywhere. But look, Frank's got to do his job, he's got to do right by his fighter. He's done an amazing job for Daniel Dubois, by the way, incredible job, I've stated it before. But amazing job he's done with Dubois, but I would just take 2 or 3 steps back with Dubois to go a few steps forward. I think he needs some confidence builders, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah, and he's been in big fights now, and the defeats he has had have been tough to take. What do you make in boxing? What's something I wanted to ask you? A few fighters have mentioned this, and they've come to almost his defence of it. Do we, as in the boxing fraternity, is the word quit? Is that chucked about too frequently?
Yeah, look, I did an interview with Charlie about it, and he asked me about did Dubois want out of the ring? Yes, I do believe so. But it's hard to call someone a quitter that's just been in the ring with arguably the pound-for-pound best fighter in the world and done 9-10 rounds or whatever it was and been in a tough fight with him. So I think it's not about being a quitter. I think it's Dubois. All it is with Dubois is self-belief. But like Fraser Clark said, anybody that's got in the ring and has the balls to get into a ring, it's hard to call people like that a quitter. And if I have said it in the past, because I don't want to contradict myself, I shouldn't have said it, because all fighters deserve the utmost respect and credit, because it's the hardest job in the world, and I mean that 100%.
Absolutely. I want to touch on Tyson Fury. He's got this fight with Ngannou coming up, but providing nothing drastic happens in that, hopefully we're going to see Usyk and Fury. Is there anything you saw from Oleksandr Usyk in that last fight that either alters your opinion or changes anything in relation to what you think happens with Fury?
All it does is confirm to me that Tyson Fury will play with him, and that's my honest opinion. And Usyk is an all-time great. I'm not discrediting Usyk. He's a undisputed cruiserweight champion. He's a unified heavyweight champion. He's done everything in boxing. He's a living legend. I just think Tyson Fury, too big, too long, too awkward, and I think Tyson Fury will stop Usyk.
Fair enough. Sam, look, appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us down here today. We look forward to seeing Jack back out, and obviously the next potentially Shakur Stevenson type performance from Cameron Vuong.
I'm telling you this now, mate. I'm telling you this now, and you people go, oh, what's he talking about, mate? Cameron Vuong is a special talent. Trust me.
Well, look, guys, get onto his social media, follow him on this journey. It's going to be an interesting one to see. Appreciate your time. We'll catch up again soon.
Nice one, my friend.